welcome back to my channel, Display of Color. I'm Scarlett, and today we're going to be reviewing Paul Ruben's watercolor glitter metallic paints. These are really neat and fun, and they're a great, excellent highlight to any watercolor paintings that you would like. So it comes in this really neat fabric box. It feels like a fabric lining over the box. And then I don't know, it's just like a really fun texture. And it was really, also shimmery. And then on the inside they have this beautiful pink, like fiber cloth, the same type that you use for your glasses or sunglasses or TV screens. It's that really soft material that picks up lint really well. I'm assuming they're using it as something to wipe your brush off on to absorb the water, because I highly doubt it's to rub the case. But this is really cool. So you could use it right or left-handed, that little metal key ring. So that helps if you're gonna go out and about and sketch and paint. So the inside has the wells, and it has the 4 in the lid, as well as another 4 in the flap. Or I may have 5 in the flap. It comes with a color swatch on their regular colors that they have for watercolor. And then I thought this was really cool. They have their own swatch chart where it has printed in English and Chinese. And even their sticker wrapper that they put over the half pans are sparkly holographic design. A magnetic base, and you have more wells on the inside of your metal palette holder. And they do not move at all. They don't wriggle or jiggle or shake. They're firmly in place, which is really nice. So if you hold out angle, you can see the writing, and you're like, okay, for the name, and the light fastness is on the front of it, in English and in Chinese. The English is the number, I'm pretty sure, for the color fastness and stuff, which is a 7, I believe, that you see on that right below the Paul Ruben's name. I do have this fast forwarded, otherwise this would be really long, because I am going to be swatching these. I am going to be using my Fabriano Artistico watercolor paper. It's one of my faves that I like to use. I'm going to put the stickers on there, and I'm going to swatch it again on my own watercolor paper that I use. I will be swatching on here on the paper they provide, the color chart they provide, swatch chart, but I also want to do it on my own. I think it is always best to swatch the pigments you're going to use on your specific paper, because they do react differently. These are all just so gorgeous and beautiful, and I will be super speeding this up. I just unwrap all the half pans, and just so that I can get to swatching so it's not super long for you. These colors are absolutely wonderful, and I am very excited to swatch these. They're so pretty. And I feel they have a good range, too, of color tones. That's why I was really excited. It's a really nice, fun range of shades. And it's just such a gorgeous color. I think that one's the Crepe Myrtle, and it has blue interference. So it's like a pink, you'll see, and then it's got this gorgeous blue interference. So it has this really lovely like color shift to it. Okay, so there you see I have it in the other piece of paper. Alright, so I'm going to be swatching. So what I do is normally I spritz it with a little mister, but I didn't have it with me, so I just grabbed a pipette, which is just as equally great, and just drop a little bit of water into each pan to let it absorb for a couple minutes. And then I go into swatching these. So since the paper's folded, it was kind of like, as you see, kind of rolling on me. So I ended up folding it backwards on the seam so that way it would lay flat, and then I had no problems. Don't forget that if you're doing with watercolor and you have pans and stuff that you're going to close a case on your watercolor with, make sure you let them dry 100% dry before you close up the metal tray pan or plastic, whatever you're using, in order to make sure your paints dry 100% so that way they won't mildew or mold. So the color I just swatched is Deep Interference. I'm sorry, the first, what I'm currently swatching right now is Deep Interference Yellow. The one before that was Flash Yellow, and the second one I swiped was Pearl Platinum, and the first was Pearl Silver White. My apologies. So, right, I just did the Deep Interference Yellow. And now I'm doing Deep Interference Orange. And these are very metallic. They're very shimmer. The Flash Yellow has a lot more of a glitter look of the mica in it. Some look more pearl than others. They're all very, very shimmery, even on white. And I was really surprised at the smoothness. The paint itself, it's really like creamy when it re-wet, and it didn't take a long time for it to reactivate, and it just goes on really evenly. Most metallics or pearled paints, they tend to have the mica tends to make them kind of streaky, and I was pleasantly surprised how easily these bled and how pigmented they were and how evenly they were pigmented, on top of the fact that they were so reflective and gorgeous, which unfortunately this camera will not pick up how true of a reflection it really is, or the color, but in person, I mean, they're just amazing. So those last two colors were Royal Gold, and then I'm doing Bronze Satin. Now I'm swatching Flare Red. On this it says Flare Red. On my paper, I know another one of my girlfriends has this set similar, but it's slightly different, and hers I think says Flash Red, but it's more of a pink. Honestly, it's more pinky than red, and that has a lot of that silver mica in it. This one I'm doing is Deep Interference Red. I will realize that I'm out of shot, out of frame, so I will readjust. So you'll see this. My apologies. And the lighting, because I will be also doing these on black watercolor paper, which is not black cardstock. It is 100% cotton watercolor paper that I found that was black by Stonehenge. I was really, really excited, and actually it was really great. So I'm doing deep interference red and wine red, and I think that's when around that one I noticed, like, ooh, I'm not in shot. So my apologies. Okay, so let's see. Yep, I just swatched wine reds. It's the last color you see on the screen at the corner. And I'm about to do pink. Which is a gorgeous, like, rose, really pretty kind of rose pink. The only one that looked more red, honestly, was the wine red. It had more of a red undertone. The others were all kind of pinky. And then this one is rose red. So, okay, this is where I realized, like, whoops, not in shot. So the one I'm doing is now rose red, and it is a gorgeous, actually, pink. So it'd be a pretty pink rose. You know, if you're gonna watercolor flowers or roses, like, this would be gorgeous. These shades would be great to do. So this first one on the right, upper right, is going to be crepe myrtle, and this one is just yummy. It's how you see it right there. It's like this really gorgeous fuchsia pink, and it has like a blue interference. Oh, it's just so pretty. So it gives it that purple. It looks, against the two together, kind of looks more violet color shift. But you'll see on the black, because with black watercolor paper or even the cardstock, if you're going to do cards or whatever, it will show like very, very blue. And you'll see, because the color kind of goes into, disappears into the black, and then the mica and the interference stay on to the tippy top, so that's what you see most against the black. But yeah, I was still shocked actually to see still a lot of these colors still did show color. I was quite impressed. So that was Symphony Purple. It's a really nice, like, rich purple. And there is one other purple, and it's the last color that they swatch in the pan, so I don't know why they decided to put it at the end, not with the Symphony Purple, but it is a really, really deep, so I don't know if visually they just thought it felt better at the very end. That color was Deep Interference Blue. It is really pretty, vibrant blue, and I will show you, these colors are very metallic. They don't look at this angle and this lighting with this camera, but they are, and you will see the end after I get done. And of course they're wet too. That's the other thing with micas, is you the colors of watercolor, it really helps if you let them dry. Then you really get to see the reflection and the shine and the shimmer and the pearlescent look come back, is once the water has dissipated and the color is just flat, not floating. It takes on a whole more dramatic tone. And I'm blending, because these colors blend, they're blendable, they're watercolor, and so I am purposely doing it at, like, normal watercolor swatching. I know a lot of people, most reviews I've seen with micas tend to just do a solid color and they don't do a bleed out. So I want to see how it moves, how it works. I want to see if you still get the interference going throughout, just lighter, and it does. I mean, I don't think on the camera I was able to show it well. I think you see it looks like half, and then the rest of the half is just kind of light color, but to the naked eye, you still see that shimmer the whole bar across, and it's just lighter. It's no different than regular watercolor. So with the shimmer, it's just a little bit lighter, more water and less pigment. So this green was so beautiful. The fruit green. Sorry, the one above that was shiny blue, and the one above that was symphony blue. This fruit green is just gorgeous. I love that spring green. It's just such a yummy, yummy, yummy to my eye, like color. It just excites me. And that deep interference green is kind of more like a aqua teal, you know? It's more blue than green. This one is called Golden Maroon, and it looks like it has green interference on a brown base. It doesn't look maroon to me. It looks like a brown undertone. This is dark green. This would be gorgeous eyeshadow color. It's really pretty. And again, I'll push up. My apologies, I've been on a little hiatus, and it's been a minute, so that's affecting me to remember to look up and see where my art is compared to the camera, so my apologies. I have missed you, Doc Fam. So right at the edge of the camera and shot is the dark green. And right now I'm swatching the brown. And I'll push it up. And what I'm grabbing right now is silver black. It's hard to get the pan and the paper all in shot. And this is flash purple. This is like a very deep grape purple. And it's more texture, it's more like glittery kind of chunkiness to it. This is not, I wouldn't say it's glitter. To me, it looks like mica. But everybody understands what glitter, you know what I mean, that texture of glitter looks like, so it's easy to describe it. I see when the light hits, how you can see on that pink, it showed all the way across. It's like that on all of them. It's just a challenge with the camera when it comes to, these were so sparkly and so reflective that the camera just freaks out, so it's really hard to get on point what your naked eye can see. So now what I'm doing is just grabbing my Fabriano Artistico watercolor paper and I wanted to see, I did wet on wet right here for this swatch, but the others are dry on wet. So I just wanted to see the movement and how they bled within each other, just each other alone, let alone, you know, give me an idea to do regular watercolor. And because usually, you know, I tend to like to use these as accents or, you know, enhancements and stuff. But I did want to see like, like how would this interact with just like, you know, adding them just regular. And so I'm choosing a couple blues, I'm choosing a couple pinks, I'm choosing a couple of the purples. Like I was doing the flash purple and then the symphony purple into that one. This one I believe is the golden maroon, and I think I'm probably going to grab the fruit green. And then the next swatch I do, I did get interrupted, so there is a time where I didn't get to do it at the same time. So it had already dried. And you could tell because the fade isn't correct, but I got interrupted, so I was just trying to lay my color down and then move on. I do have a 2-year-old who loves to pull mommy away, and that's okay. That's what I'm here for. So right here is where I had a cut, it dried, and then I was like, oh no, and then I tried to throw color, and then I was interrupted again. So, but those blues, I believe, were deep blue interference mixed with shiny blue, and they're gorgeous. Just within each other, they blend really well. They bleed really well. It's great. So this is the black watercolor paper. Again, it's by Stonehenge. I'm really excited because most people, you'd have to use cardstock if you wanted black, right? And it's thick. I only found it in cold press. I didn't find it in a hot press, which was the only bummer, is I can't find it in a hot press. I bought this on Amazon, and the only other bummer is it only had 15 pages. And there's 2 sizes. This is like an 8 by 10, I believe, and 8 by 10 inch, and then I think there's maybe 11 by 17 or something. There's one, I think it's a little bit bigger size. So, but I just wanted to try it out, so I didn't get the Ginormica one. And all I'm doing is going in the same order. So that's pearl silver white, and then the pearl platinum, which was a very yellowy, creamy, like light, really yellow cream kind of look. And again, on the black, it's going to just show the mica laying on top, so you'll see the interference more than you will the color. But then again, I was pleasantly surprised as we continued to get out of the yellows, how you could see actual pigment even on here. It's quite lovely. And to the far right is, you know, some other things I've swatched from a different mica watercolor line that I was doing both of those at the same time. So I'm just going to again speed this whole process up, so that way for time it's not a super long video, as it's already pretty lengthy. And just doing the same thing, going all the way down from the top of the tray over, so it's the same colors: pearl silver white, pearl platinum, flash yellow, deep yellow interference, deep interference orange, royal gold, bronze satin, flare red, deep interference, red, wine red, pink, rose red. And then down to this second tray pan, it was crepe myrtle, symphony purple, deep interference blue, symphony blue, shiny blue, deep interference green, fruit green, golden maroon, dark green, brown, silver black, and flash purple. Is what I'll end with. And the lighting again does get affected. I tried to make it as uniform as possible, but it is hard with how reflective these metallics are on top of the white paper versus the black paper. So they both are very reflective, but it's just really hard to show up. The camera just kind of wigs out. They're so pretty and so beautiful. And it is amazing how you still get a lot of color within, even on the black. And what's that brown? silver black, and then flash purple is the last color. So as you see, they're just gorgeous. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up bell, like and subscribe, and share with others. I appreciate you. Happy arting, and God bless.